Hello. Caught in the rain, I see. I myself got a bit drenched. The storm came out of nowhere, didn't it? Though with this heat wave, I've been quite grateful for it. Are you just looking for some shelter from the rain? Well, it doesn't look like it's going to ease up anytime soon. If you'd like to kill some time. Might I interest you in some seasonal wares? We have a lovely autumnal range just in last week. Well, make yourself at home. I have a towel here if you'd like to dry off. Here, I'll leave it with you. I don't think I've seen you in here before. No? Well, welcome to Nova's Knickknacks. I'm Nova, and here we sell rehomed goods from the human realm. Some may say our methods are less than moral, but I say waste not, want not, as most of these wares were in fact thrown out by humans and found in the dumpsters, if you can believe. Some are found in their homes and painstakingly procured by my mogoblins, tiny experts in the art of rehoming, shall we say. We are always sure to leave a gift in exchange for whatever is taken, normally in the form of baked goods. At the moment, our special has been miniature cinnamon rolls with this wonderful little glaze that helps forget whatever has been taken. So no harm done. Are you still interested? Good. Let's take a look then, shall we? First, I have this little pumpkin. It's knitted by hand, I would assume, in this rich orange colour, with a wonderful little wooden stem. It would look quite adorable as a tiny throw pillow, or atop your mantle, perhaps, or on your bed, maybe. You're not sure? It's okay. Lots of youngsters out playing in the rain, I see. They must be as grateful for it as I am. We have a trinket dish for all your trinkety needs. Perhaps to remove your rings when washing your hands, or if you're likely to lose them, this can be a good way to remember where you've last put them. There's 2 little toadstools, one small and one larger one in this vibrant red with tiny white dots atop them. It's very cute, I think. Adds a sort of fairy-esque aesthetic. Don't be alarmed if you hear some scurrying noises. I'm taking care of some of my friends' cats. And they get up to all sorts of shenanigans, let me tell you. What is it? have an assortment of mugs which are quite delightful. I have this little burnt orange one with white foliage that decorate the pumpkin-y shape. It's a good sized handle, ideal for holding some herbal or fruity tea perhaps. And it fits in the hands very nicely, I think. Let's see. I have another mug, also pumpkin shaped, but this one is more of a vanilla colour. It reminds me very much of panna cotta or creme brulee. If you look closely, it has these sort of black flecks which can be hard to see, but it reminds me very much of little vanilla bean seeds. Makes me hungry. This one is a bit larger. Ideal if you have cold hands and you like to warm them on your mug. I would fill this one with hot chocolate so you can fit lots inside, and a lovely wide opening for plenty of whipped cream. Ooh, and marshmallows if you so desire. What's next? We have this mug which says, "Hello pumpkin." This one is white with silver detail work in a variety of pumpkins, squashes and seasonal gourds. It also has a silver metallic handle and a sloped sort of shape. It would still fit comfortably in your hands and certainly give you a lot of warmth on the colder nights. Let's see. I believe my last mug to show you is my most favourite one. It is this mushroom. How cute. The base of this mug is again creamy coloured, this time with lines to reflect a mushroom's natural texture. The lid is this domed cinnamon brown that fades into white around the rim. It acts as a lid to keep the contents of your mug steaming hot. Came with this little disc of something. I'm not sure what. But it looks quite cute. It reminds me almost of the little frills on a mushroom. This would be just perfect to hold some soup. Ooh. Perhaps chicken and wild mushroom soup. I'd be happy to share my recipe with you if you buy this mug. Let's set this one aside. What's next? Well, I have this little treat jar. Arguably, it could be used to store just about anything that fits inside. It's again this sort of burnt orange colour with a wonderful gloss on the ceramic, making it quite reflective in the light. It has this charming little stem. to use to remove the lid, with ample size within. You could hide your best chocolates, toffees, sugar cubes, spells, tea blends, anything you don't want the grubby little hands in your household to get into. Though I say it hasn't worked very well against my goblins. They always find my chocolate anyway. What do you think? That's okay, there's no rush. Next, I have these little candlesticks. We have two, which is quite unusual, but I suppose they were found together. They come in this sort of spiralized texture. They're not particularly long, but I would imagine their burning time anywhere up to 6 hours. They look lovely in a set of candlesticks if you have any, perhaps perched on either side of the centerpiece on your fireplace, or down the center of your dining table. That would look lovely. These two also came together, believe it or not. It's two little pumpkins. One is tall cream beige, and this small tangerine orange pumpkin. They're both made of ceramic or glass, I can't be sure, but they have this beautiful knitted texture, almost as if they're made of tiny sweaters. These were actually given to us by an elderly witch that lives on the edge of the glade in exchange for some gardening. The McGumplins are avid gardeners, if you didn't know, so they were more than happy to remove her weeds and rake the leaves in exchange for these. Next, I have this tiny little woodland hog that I quite adore. She's carved of a tiny log, and she looks ever so happy. I'll let you see her closer. This little sitting position. Look at her little ears. I call her Hermione. She's quite charming, perched on your bookcase, or just anywhere that you could enjoy her little face. What do you think? I'll be happy to keep her if you don't want her. I have this little journal. I use one very like it, both here for stock taking, but also at my apprenticeship in the local tattoo parlor. Have you been? I definitely recommend. You'll probably see me there at reception. They do have some fabulous artists. I hope one day to become one of them, though I've been told I am many years away. This journal comes bound in this rich mahogany leather, this wonderful leaf print, cord is used to bind it with this golden leaf charm. Simply remove the charm, just like me, and unfurl it to open the cover, revealing this rich parchment. It's ideal for sketchwork, as it doesn't have any lines, though it could be used to jot down your thoughts or notes if you have neat handwriting. I do not. This next one is designed to hold a tea light. I'm not quite sure how to describe the colour of this one, but it has a very wonderful texture, reminiscent of a dragon egg, though I've been told it resembles an artichoke, which I find just as delightful. Inside is a little holder area for a tea light to add a pop of warmth to any surface it's placed upon. This one, I believe, is made of glass and has quite a sturdy weight to it. Next, I have these adorable little tiny pumpkin candles. They come in a large, medium, and small. They have a shape that reminds me very much of tangerines, and a similar size as well. They almost smell like tangerines too, which only adds. Perhaps they are tangerines. I couldn't be sure, but I like to say they're pumpkins. They're very cute. They make an ideal little addition to a table setting, or perhaps a stocking filler for All Hallows Eve. Next, we have, I believe, a soap. Never seen one in a bottle like this. It's this sort of golden orange liquid in a bottle. And it says Nature Spell, Spicy Pumpkin Latte, Vanilla, Cinnamon and Ginger. Perhaps it's for eating. It sounds delicious. Deep cleansing jelly hand wash. So perhaps not for eating. It does smell wonderful. It's like warm baked pumpkin pie with hints of apple strudel. Would you like to smell? I don't mind. It is making me hungry, I'll tell you that. What do you think? I'll tell you what. I'll just put everything to the side for now. I'll let you peruse them later at your leisure, if you want to buy anything, so there's no pressure. Next is something a bit different. It's this wooden sign with these beautiful burnt etchings of various plants and wildflowers, and what appears to be little blossoms blowing in the wind, and the words "walk in the wildflowers." I always find decorations made with wood and other natural elements bring a sort of rustic charm to your home that I just love, as if you're bringing the outdoors indoors in the best way. You could hang this by your front door, in your bathroom for guests to see, or perhaps in the kitchen. Anywhere that you want to be reminded to walk in the wildflowers. Next we have something quite a bit larger in the form of this very soft bath towel. I'll unravel it so you can see the beautiful print. As you can see, it's quite large, with this beautiful woodland creature theme: foxes, squirrels, hedgehogs and mushrooms. Truly the best combination. It's also very soft and cottony on the skin, and will be sure to make yourself or any guest feel very at home. Let's see. Next, I have another candle, this time in this beautiful little glass acorn. It has a gentle brown tone, and makes some wonderful clickety clacks with my nails. If I remove the lid, it reveals the candle within. The scent of this one is quite masculine, with notes of oak and cedar. It smells like a handsome man. I don't know how better to describe that. Have you ever passed a gentleman in the street and caught a whiff of his cologne and thought, he smells handsome? That's how this smells. A sort of musky allure, I suppose. Suppose we'll look at this one next. Comes in this beautiful little gift box. Or at least that's how we found it. This one, if you can believe, was found in the garden, discarded by a very spoiled human child on their 13th birthday. Inside is this marvelous set of maple leaf earrings, handmade from clay and adorned with vibrant flecks of gold leaf. I don't understand what the child's qualms were about the pair. Though my McGumplins reported hearing shouting within the home. Something about, I wanted solid gold. Waterbrand. Well, her spoiled loss is our gain. What do you think? Are your ears pierced? I can't tell from here. I could always pierce them for you. No? Well, change your mind. They're quite like the ones I'm wearing, although mine closer resemble an ivy leaf, I would say. We have yet another candle. I really hope you like candles as much as I do. This one comes in this dark glass container by the Winter Harvest Company. Must be a human company. Scented with sandalwood and tonka. The best part about this candle's packaging, arguably, is its handsome set of antlers. You ever seen a candle with antlers before? I certainly haven't. The lid is this bronze colour with antlers reaching to the heavens in a similar tone. You remove the lid. Now this one. This one smells sweeter, with a sort of spicy depth to it. The sandalwood gives it a warm, woody flavour, but there's something else I don't quite recognise. It makes me want to curl up in front of the fire with a good book. Well, where are my manners? Would you like to smell? Do you like it? This would go very well throughout autumn, but just as lovely in the winter. Something about antlers and deer in general that I'm always drawn to. I'm not sure why. Next, I have a pear. I was quite surprised when I was brought this, but I love it nonetheless. I believe it is also made of ceramic, and it has a good weight to it. It would make a beautiful paperweight, or a bookend, or just a lovely, fruity, seasonal touch on yourself. It's quite neutral coloured. If you don't like orange, this might be ideal. It has a little golden wire leaf and stem. And again, a wonderful glaze. I would love a pear this size, poached in mulled cider, with sticky toffee cake on the side, and vanilla ice cream. Delicious. Next, we have this tiny basket, which already I love. It's a chunky weave, made from straw. This one is filled with potpourri. It's some sort of smelly mixture that humans fill their homes with. Was it pronounced potpourri or potpourri? Potpourri, let's say. It has various delicious smelling dried things. I have no idea what they are, but they look like the sort of thing you might find on a forest floor, which I find quite appealing. They smell very like bergamot and cinnamon, just autumn in general. Would you like to smell? Sorry, it might poke you in the eye. There you go. One could certainly reuse this basket as well for collecting mushrooms in the woods or apple picking, though you might not fit many apples. Flower picking, whatever your little heart desires. Now this one is not something I've seen before. It appears to be some sort of cat, a very well dressed cat, with a very well dressed hat. He appears to be dressed to the nines for the celebration of the season. The little pumpkin perched upon his squishy head, and a jack-o'-lantern suit with a mischievous face carved in it. He has a quite joyous expression, as if he was made to be a pumpkin. He also has these little pink paw pads, which are quite cute, and a little tail, and little paw pads at the back, as if he is lounging on the floor quite comfortably. He'd make an ideal companion on nights spent alone, or perhaps a pillow for a sleepy head. Next we have this mat made of wicker. I believe it is also perhaps woven of straw in this pumpkin shape. It is designed for hot things, if you hadn't guessed, but it makes quite a lovely placemat as well. The straw has a smell sweet like honey, which surprises me. It's quite lovely. It gives again quite a rustic charm to your table. I could just imagine it on the countertop, with your freshly baked pies placed on top. Perhaps a steak pie for your dinner. I have another large item, this time in the form of a bath mat, and I'm quite excited about it. It's a gnome with a very handsome hat and gently holding a tiny pumpkin. The colours are warm and very appropriate for the time of year, and to be certain to add some charm to your bathroom or front door fabric is quite thick and absorbent, ideal for your little wet feet or your little cold feet if you're sitting on the bog. What's next? Another bath mat, of course. These lovely pumpkins come in this deep squash green and viridian orange, perched next to one another very beautifully. It's quite a large mat, much like the other one. Again, with this chunky texture, keeping you nice and warm for your midnight adventures to the toilet. Next, I have these placemats. They have a lovely leaf vein texture, though it reminds me very much also of branches on a tree. We were lucky enough to recover a full set of 6, so you should have enough for yourself and some guests or family members. Simply place these under your dinner plates to add some autumnal charm. I have a pumpkin I forgot to show you with my other pumpkin, and it's this little woven number. It's quite neutral toned. It looks almost as though it was hewn of garden twine. This one used to have a rather dashing stem that spiraled out with leaves, but my friend's cat decided to make a snack of it. So all that is left is this sad little stub. Nevertheless, it's quite charming in its own way, and its neutral colours would give a lovely sort of negative space when placed amongst more vibrant hued pumpkins. I have this tiny cooking dish, which is just so sweet. It looks a bit like a pumpkin and a bit like a bell pepper, but both of which I find equally delightful. It's a sort of rich, orangey red, or reddish orange, should I say, with 2 tiny little handles and a lid with a golden stem. Inside is just enough room for a little pie for yourself, or a souffle, or a chocolate fondant, or just about anything your little tummy might desire. It's perfect for a night in to spoil yourself. I imagine this filled to the brim with bubbling deliciousness, while I sit wrapped in my favourite blanket, thick socks upon my feet, watching the leaves fall outside, or perhaps watching the late night shopping channels. Next, I have 2 small hand towels. The first in this golden beige. It's outlines of pumpkins in various sizes. It has a buttery texture, which will be sure to feel wonderful on your freshly cleaned hands or face. It also comes with the orange version, where the colours are simply inverted, but the feel is no less wonderfully soft. I have this wonderful tea towel. This one has a rougher texture with various pumpkin, squash and gourds in vibrant orange, ochre, foliage green and a purplish burgundy. This print reminds me very much of gardening, which gives me a sort of nostalgic fondness for it. It comes with this plain dusky orange tea towel, which looks quite handsome paired next to the vibrant print of the first. And thirdly, this white little number with far more symmetrical pumpkins printed on it in a similar colour palette to complete the set. This wonderful pair of oven mitts, again with this wonderful pumpkin, gourd and squash print and a dusky orange border. The inside is this sort of waffle pattern, again in dusky orange. It fits your hands quite snugly. Next, we have this reed diffuser. Now, it comes in this little glass bottle with a golden lid and this beautiful little acorn charm that dangles from the neck of the bottle. The reeds at the top diffuse the liquid, soaking them up and changing their colour slightly and allowing them to diffuse the smell throughout your home. This one smells sweet and fruity, like orange zest with a hint of clove and lemon. I'll let you smell. It would be a lovely scent for your home, I'm sure. Let's see. Now this next one is one of my favorites. It is an apple pie candle, but not just any candle. The label is a recipe for apple pie. It has this little wooden slice of apple that hangs from the neck and a thick cork lid to keep the deliciousness inside. It smells exactly how it says, like a fresh baked apple pie with buttery short crust pastry and a hint of cinnamon. The recipe reads: ingredients: 2 rolls of ready-made short crust pastry, 3 large Bramley apples thinly sliced, 75 grams of caster sugar, plus 2 teaspoons extra, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1 large egg, and 1 tablespoon of milk. Instructions: preheat oven to gas mark 6, 200 degrees or 180 degrees fan. Line a shallow pastry tin with 1 sheet of pastry. Mix the ingredients and spoon into pie dish. Cover the fruit mixture with the other sheet of pastry. Pinch edges and cut slits on top. Brush over egg wash and sprinkle with sugar. Bake for 20 minutes until golden brown. It really does smell like Bramley apples. I'll let you smell. The best one so far? I'm inclined to agree. Now we only have 2 items left, and they actually match each other, though they didn't come together. It's a pure happy coincidence. The first is this candle holder with various grasses, seedlings, and fronds of things that grow in the wild, spiraling around it like a wreath. The base is this dark wicker, tightly bound into a ring, and at the center is this glass encasement for the candle in question. I've placed a simple vanilla bean candle within, but you could add anything you like depending on your scent preference. Would you like to smell? It would look just divine on your coffee table, or at the center of your table runner. Last but not least is this wreath that you would have seen behind me. It's quite large, again with these rich tones of dried grass and foliage, and little fronds and heads of wheat, or ears of wheat, shall we say. They spiral outward, with these little brown ones reminding me of pheasants' tail feathers. At the base of the wreath here, you see this vibrant vermilion bow with leaves of various shapes, sizes, and colors, all again wrapping around itself like a bird's nest. The base is very sturdy, again wound tightly of brown wicker and held on a cord of garden string. This wreath would be a handsome adornment for your door, though it can also be placed on a table and candles placed within it. I believe that's all I have to show you for now, but you're welcome to stay and wait out the storm. It still looks rather wet out there. Why not make yourself at home in that chair in the corner? I have some hazelnut milk and some cinnamon rolls fresh out the oven. without the forget-me glaze, mind you. Of course, feel free to stay as long as you like. And if you see anything that you would like to purchase, I'll be here doing some paperwork. It's no trouble. Okay, get comfy. Some cinnamon rolls for you.